Hello everyone, in this video, let's discuss the equation of the line of a linear equation with two unknowns. Okay, let's recall that the general form is ax plus by plus c equals to 0, and then the standard form is ax plus by equals to c, wherein a is the numerical coefficient of x, and b is the numerical coefficient for y, and then c is our constant. Now, when we say slope of the line or when we say slope, it means the inclination of the line or steepness. Kumbaga, gaano naka-incline or ano yung steepness ng ating line. Okay, let P x sub 1, y sub 1, and Q x sub 2, y sub 2 be two distinct points with x sub 1 should not be equal to x sub 2. So, our formula for the slope, we have y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So, si slope, ang kinuha natin dito ay yung change in y over change in x. Or if you still remember, that is the rise over run. Okay, rise means your movement is up or down. Then for the run is left or right. So let's have an illustration. Okay, for the first figure, when we say slope, okay, for example, this is our first point and then this is the second point. Let's say this is P and this is Q. When we say slope, this is rise, okay, and then run. Rise and then run. So, ibig sabihin, ang slope natin dito, ano ginawa natin? We go up, so that's positive, and then we go to the right, so that's positive also. Therefore, our slope here is a positive value. And then for the second figure, let's say this is our point P, and this is our point Q. So, when we get the slope, so this is go down, so that's negative. Then we go to the right, and that's positive. So, based on our equation, if we have negative divided by positive, so the answer is negative. So therefore, the slope for the second figure is a negative slope. And then for the third figure, if we have this one, okay, so for example, this is your point P and this is your point Q. Now, as you can see, there's no way na pwede kang mag-up or pwedeng mag-down, diba? Kasi yung point mo ay nandito sa kanan. So therefore, wala tayong rise. So kung wala tayong rise, there's no movement ng ating y. There's no change in y. So therefore, 0 yung ating pa-up or pa-down. So that's 0. And then, meron naman tayong movement to the right. So that goes to positive. Therefore, ang ating slope here ay equals to 0. It's because kapag ang y mo, let's say, there's no change in y, ibig sabihin that's 0 over a number. Let's say there's 1 unit para makapunta ka dun sa q. So that's 0 over 1. So therefore, it's equals to 0. Therefore, our slope, kung nakita kayo ng horizontal line, ibig sabihin the slope is equals to 0. Then for the last figure, if we have C, this vertical line, okay? So let's say this is your point P and this is your point Q. So here, yung Q natin, there's no way na pwede kang pumunta sa left or right. So therefore, wala tayong run dito. Then meron naman tayong up or down. So ibig sabihin, kasi kung ito yung reference point mo si P, pwede kang mag-down. Okay, so meron kang movement sa down. Pero wala kang movement sa, okay, sa left and right. So therefore, there's no change in x dito. Diba sa formula natin ng slope, ang x natin ay nasa denominator. Therefore, ang ating slope here is undefined. It's because kapag ang x mo, okay, 0, and let's say 1 unit lang yung pagitan ng P to Q. So let's say 1. So that's 1 over 0. Diba pag sabi natin, okay, any non-zero number over a 0, that's undefined. So therefore, kapag vertical line, ang ating line, is the slope is undefined. Okay, but if it is a horizontal line, so we have slope of 0. Okay, so let's have an example. Find the slope of the following. Number 1, let P negative 1, 2 and Q negative 4, negative 3. So, pwede natin siya i-graph for you to see how ano ang itsura ng line nito. So, we have negative 1. So, when we graph negative 1, start with x and then followed by y. So, positive 2. So, nandito yung ating point P. And then, yung Q natin is negative 4. So, negative 4. Ayan, negative 4 and negative 3. So, 1, 2, 3, negative 3. So, nandito yung ating point Q. Okay, so as you can see, makita mo naman yung itsura ng line natin dito. Kung kiko-connect mo yung from P to Q, so we can say that the slope is a positive, right? So, kunin natin, let's say this is your x sub 1. Ito yung y sub 1. Ito yung x sub 2 and y sub 2. So, using the formula, let us try to get the slope. So, ang y sub 2 natin ay negative 3. And then, ang y sub 1 natin ay positive 2, so minus 2. All over, ang x sub 2 natin ay negative 4. Minus x sub 1 ay negative 1. Okay, so we have negative 3 minus 2, and that's equals to negative 5. All over, So, kapag may minus and then negative, di ba, nagiging plus to and positive. So, negative 1 plus 1. So, that is negative, okay, negative 3. So, therefore, meron kang negative divided by negative. So, the answer here is a positive. So, ang slope natin dito ay positive 5/3. Okay? So, as you can see here, dito sa ating graph, pwede din naman natin siyang kuhanin. Okay, without using the equation or plot lang natin yung dalawang points, pwede natin makuha yung ating slope. Kasi diba, it's in the format of rise over run. Example, dito ka nag-start sa Q, ilang beses ka aakyat para makarating ka kay P. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is positive 5. Ilang beses ka naman pupunta sa kanan or kaliwa para makapunta ka naman kay Q. So since ang Q mo ay nasa kanan, we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have 3 units. Okay, so therefore the slope for number 1 is 5/3. Next example, negative 2, negative 3. So, plot muna natin siya. Negative 2, and then negative 3. So, here is our point P. And then, ang Q natin is negative 4, 0. So, this is negative 4, 0 is here. So, ito yung point Q natin. So, based on the illustration kanina, kapag nakita kayo ng ganito, sabihin yung ating slope ay pa-negative. Okay? Ayan. So, actually, we can already find our slope by doing the rise over run. So, ano ba ang, nito? Di ba ito siya? Ayan. O pwede rin naman po dito. Walang problema yan. Same answer lang. So, let's say from P to Q tayo. Okay. Or kung gusto mo mag-start sa Q or sa P, pwede po yun. So, start tayo, let's say, for P na lang. So, ilang beses ka akyat? We have 1, 2, 3. So, that goes up. So, we have 3. And then, ilang beses ka pupunta sa, ilan yung units papunta sa Q? Diba, papunta yan sa left. So, we have 1, 2. So, that's negative 2. Okay? Kapag naman nag-start ka sa Q, same lang din naman po. Let's say, 1, 2, 3. So, we have negative 3. And then, 1, 2. So, positive 2. So, pareho lang naman sila na ang sagot ay negative 3/2. Yan yung slope. Okay? So, syempre, compute natin using our formula. So, let's say, ito yung x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. Okay? Pwede po nyo yan palitan. Like, ito yung x sub 2 nyo. Ito yung y sub 2. Ito yung x sub 1. Ito yung y sub 1. So, pwede pong magkabalik. Okay, so we have our y sub 2, which is 0, minus y sub 1 ay negative 3, all over, x sub 2 natin ay negative 4, minus, ang ating x sub 1 ay negative 2. Alright, so meron tayong rule ng sign number, so magiging plus to, positive, plus, positive. Okay, so our answer will be 3, and then negative 4 plus 2 means negative 2. Okay, so we have slope is equals to negative 3/2. Okay, so same lang naman dun sa answer natin. Okay, next example, let's P 2, 4. So graph natin siya, 2, 4, positive 2, positive 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Ito yung P natin. Then for the Q, we have 2, negative 5. So positive 2 and negative 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 5. So nandito ang ating point Q. So in this case, makikita naman natin na ang line nito ay pa-vertical. So, di ba kanina, pag vertical line ang ating line, yung given line natin, ibig sabihin, the slope is undefined. Okay, so, this one, the slope is undefined. Okay, bakit siya undefined? Kasi ang rise natin dito, kung titingnan mo yung rise, ilang beses? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 units. Diba? So, kung nag-start ka sa P, so negative 9. Kung nag-start ka naman sa Q, positive 9. So, let's say negative 9. Kung nag-start ako sa Q, and then may run ba tayo? Kumanan, kumaliwa ka ba para lang makapunta sa Q? Hindi naman. So that's 0. So therefore, ito ay undefined. Okay? So let's see using our formula. So let's say ito naman yung x sub 2, y sub 2, x sub 1, y sub 1. Okay, so we have y sub 2 is 4, and then minus y sub 1 is negative 5 all over. And then x sub 2 natin ay 2 minus x sub 1 natin ay 2. So makikita mo dito, 0 na yung denominator. So that is 9/0. So this is undefined. The slope is undefined. Okay? So positive 9 siya kasi ito ay plus and positive. And then kung inuna mo naman, kabila, okay lang naman po yan. Negative 9 pa rin. Okay? Okay lang naman na hindi sila pareho kasi depende po yun sa start ng points natin. But the final answer is still the same. Okay? Kasi kapag kinuha po kasi natin yung rise over run, ang pinag-usapan natin dyan ay distance. Kapag sabi po natin distance, it's the absolute value. Kumbaga, ilan yung distance from P to Q? So that's 9 units. Okay? So yung negative, it's the direction. Kunwari, mula sa P to Q, paano ka gumalaw? Di ba pa? Negative or pa downward. So that's negative. Okay? So kapag nag-start ka naman po sa Q, di Q to P, so that's upward, so positive. So positive 9. Okay, next example, number 4, negative 3, comma 4. So graph lang natin, negative 3. So negative 3, comma positive 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So ito po yung ating point P. And then for the point Q, positive 2, and then positive 4. So yung 4 ay nandito. So ito po yung Q. So as you can see, yung ating line, if we connect P and Q, kapag kinonnect natin yan, so ang ating line ay horizontal line. So if you remember kanina, kapag horizontal line, ang slope po natin ay 0. Okay? So test natin using the rise over run. May rise po ba tayo dito para makapunta kay Q? Di ba wala? So that's 0. Then may run po ba tayo? Yes. Kasi ilan po yung units punta sa Q? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units to the right. So that's 0 over 5. So therefore, the slope is 0. Okay? So try din natin using the formula. So we have a formula. Let's say ito yung x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. Alright? So ang y sub 2 natin, sorry, ito yung y sub 2. Y sub 2 is 4 minus y sub 1 is 4 also. So dito pala makikita mo na ang numerator ay 0. And then x sub 2 natin ay 2, and then x sub 1 natin ay negative 3. Alright? So magkakaroon ka dyan ng 0 over negative 5. Okay? So therefore, the answer is 0. Ito po yung ating slope. Okay, now let's talk about the forms of a line. Number 1, we have the slope-intercept form. So the slope-intercept form is in the format of y equals to mx plus b. Wherein yung m po natin, yan yung ating slope. Di ba yan yung slope natin? And then yung b natin is the y-intercept. Kaya siya tinawag na slope-intercept form. Okay? And next is we have the point-slope form. So from the word itself, point-slope form. So given ang slope and then 1 point. Kaya ito yung ating formula. So we have y minus y sub 1 equals m times the quantity of x minus x sub 1. Okay, ito po yung slope. And then yung point natin, di ba yung point natin, tatandaan nyo, it's in the form of x sub 1, comma, y sub 1. So ito yung x sub 1, tsaka yung y sub 1. Okay, next naman, okay, kung mapapansin nyo rin po sa point slope form, galing din naman po to sa formula ng ating slope. Kasi di ba kunwari, ito yung formula ng slope. We have m equals to y sub 2 y minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So, as you can see, okay, cross multiply. So, magkakaroon ka ng m times x sub 2, x sub 1 equals to y sub 2 minus y sub 1. Okay? Ayan. The next is, we have the 2-point slope form. So, from the word itself, meron tayong given na 2 points and the slope. So, ito yung ating formula. Okay? So, ito po yung formula ng slope. Kung nare-recognize nyo, yung formula ng slope natin. Ito siya. Okay? Ito yung formula ng slope. And then, 2 points. Bakit siya 2 points? Kasi makikita niyo naman po dito, y sub 2, y sub 1, x sub 2, x sub 1. So, ibig sabihin, may given ka 2 points. Dito kasi sa point slope form, isa lang yung point na given. Dito naman sa 2 point, 2 yung point na given. And then, we have the intercept form. So, sa intercept form naman, ang given naman po dito ay yung ating x and y intercept. Okay? Wherein yung A is the x-intercept, and then yung B is our y-intercept. Okay? So once again, kapag ang given po natin ay isang slope at isang y-intercept, ang gagamitin po natin ay slope-intercept form. Kapag naman ang given natin ay isang slope at isang point, ang gagamitin natin ay point-slope form. Kapag naman ang given natin ay 2 points, ang gagamitin natin ay 2-point slope form. Okay? And then intercept form, pag ang given ay x-intercept and y-intercept. Okay, so let's have an example. Determine the equation of the line. Number 1, passing through the points A, 2, negative 5, and B, negative 3, negative 2. So, a while ago, sinabi natin, kapag ang given natin ay 2 points, kasi 2 points po ito, point A and point B. So, meron kang 2 points dito. So, ang gagamitin nating formula ay yung pang 2-point slope form. So, itong formula nito ay yung 2-point slope form. Okay? So, na kung saan, ikaw po bahala mag-assign kung ano yung x sub 1, x sub 2, pareho na naman po ang kalalabasan niyan. So, let's say, ito na lang yung x sub 1, ito yung y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. Okay, so substitute lang po natin yung mga given. So, yung y, wala ka pong ilalagay sa y, tsaka dito sa x. Okay? So, ano lang, y minus. Ang y sub 1 natin ay negative 5. Ayan. And then equals, y sub 2 natin ay 2. Minus, y sub 1 natin ay negative 5, all over, x sub 2 ay negative 3, minus x sub 1, positive 2, and then times x, copy lang yung x, minus x sub 1 na 2. Okay? So, ang rule ng sign numbers natin, minus negative, so magiging plus, positive, plus, positive. Okay? So, therefore, ang answer natin, we have y plus 5 equals. So, sagutan na natin to ito kasi yung slope natin, di ba? Pwede nyo pong i-separate kung mare gusto nyo gawin, solve nyo muna yung slope separately, or pwede namang diretso na nyo dito sa ating formula. Pwede rin po. Okay, so 2 plus 5, so we have 7 all over, negative 3 minus 2, so pareho ng sign. Sa sign number, kapag pareho, di ba, pina-plus natin, then copy the sign. So, meron tayong negative 5. And then, copy lang natin si x, and then minus 2. Okay? So, multiply natin both sides of the equation by negative 5 para ma-eliminate natin itong nasa denominator na to, yung negative 5. So, magkakaroon na tayo dito ng negative 5 times y plus 5 equals, so, cancel na yung negative 5 here. Magkakaroon ka na lang ng 7 times x minus 2. Okay, na-cancel out na po natin ito. Okay, so next. Okay, distribute naman natin. We have negative 5y. Ito po. Okay, ayan. Okay, distribute natin siya. We have negative 5y minus 25 equals to 7x minus 14. Okay, since we're looking for the equation of the line, so by the way, equation of the line in standard form or general form. So general form or standard form. So gawin natin tong general and standard form. So kung yun ang ating hinahanap, kailangan natin pagsamahin yung variable x and y sa isang side and then lahat ng constant ay sa isang side din. Okay? Kapag standard form. So, since 7x is positive na sa right, ang lipat ko na lang yung negative 5y dun sa kabila. So, magkakaroon na ako dito ng 7x. Lipat sa kabila, we have 5, positive 5y. And then, stay lang natin negative 25. Lipat yung 14 sa kabila, magiging positive 14. Okay, so ang ginawa po natin dito, yung y ang inilipat dito, and then yung 14 sa kabila. Okay, pinagpalit lang natin. And then, kakaroon na tayo dito. Pwede na natin siyang interchange ng position like magiging na siyang 7x. Okay, lagay lang natin dito sa left side yung 7x plus 5y equals to, sagutan na natin tong 14 minus 25. The answer is negative 11. So, negative 11. Okay, so ito na po yun yung ating standard form. Kung gusto naman natin siya i-change into general form, so magkakaroon ka ng 7x plus 5y and then plus 11 equals to 0. So, ayan na po yung ating equation of the line. So, ito yung ating standard form. Ito naman yung, general form. Okay? So, yun na po yung ating final answer. Okay, kung gusto naman natin siya i-change into slope-intercept form. Para slope-intercept form naman ang ating goal. Ang gagawin naman natin dito, slope-intercept form. Pwedeng gumamit tayo ng SF or ng GF, pwede yan. So, gamitin na lang natin siguro yung nasa SF. So, let's say we have, 7x. Okay, diba yung slope-intercept form? Ano ba yung slope-intercept form? Diba yan yung y equals to mx plus b. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, stay lang natin yung 5y dito sa right side. And then yung 7x, lipat natin sa kabila. So, magiging negative 7x. Then yung 11, since nasa right side naman na siya, so stay lang natin siya. So, therefore, negative 11 pa rin. Okay, so divide lang natin ito, both sides, by the coefficient, numerical coefficient ni y na 5. Okay, so, cancel. Okay, wala naman tayo masisimplify dito, no, sa 7x over 5, tsaka 11 over 5. So, ang ating slope-intercept form, we have y equals to negative 7 over 5 x minus 11 over 5. Okay, so ito na po yung ating slope-intercept form. Okay, so meron kang standard form, general form, and ito naman yung slope-intercept form natin. Okay? So, depende po sa pinapahanap yung sagot. Kunwari, SF, so ito po yung sagot nyo. Kung GF naman, ito naman. Kung SIF, slope-intercept form, ito naman po. Okay? So, ibig sabihin ng slope natin dito ay negative 7 over 5. Okay? So, dito pa lang actually makikita na natin yung slope. Ito po yun. Diba yan yung M natin. Ito yung M, ito yung y-intercept. Okay? So, let's have another example. Determine the equation of the line. So, ang hanapin lang natin ay standard form, general form, and SIF, slope-intercept form. So, in this case, ang given natin dito ay slope of negative 3. So, meron tayong slope na negative 3. And then, y-intercept of b. So, meron tayong m tsaka b. Diba kapag ang given naman natin ay m tsaka b, ang gagamitin natin ay yung slope-intercept form. Okay, slope-intercept form. So, in this case, una nating mahanap dito, of course, yung SIF. Okay? So, substitute lang natin yung given. So, we have y equals to, ang m natin ay negative 3, copy yung x, plus positive 4. So, ito na po yung SIF natin. Okay, so, yan. Ito na po yung SIF. Okay, next naman natin is standard form. So, from that, kunin natin si standard form. Okay, so, mula na lang dito sa SIF na y equals to negative 3x plus 4. So, di ba ang pattern lang naman natin kay standard form ay yung x and y dapat nasa left side and then yung constant ay nasa right side. Since ito namang negative 3x, negative siya sa right, pag lipat natin sa kabila, yan naman ang ilipat natin. Para positive na siya, di ba, pag nilipat. Magiging positive 3x and then copy yung y, di naman natin nilipat, and then equals to 4. Okay, so ito na po yung ating, okay, ito na yung ating standard form. And then of course, para makuha naman natin ang ating general form, lipat lang natin yung 4 sa left side. Meron ka ng 3x plus y minus 4 equals to 0. So, yan naman po ang ating general form. Okay. Okay, another example. Okay, so determine the equation of the line if the slope is 3 over 4 and passes through the point 4, negative 5. So, in this case, meron tayong given na slope at point. Okay, so meron kang slope and point. So, slope and point. Therefore, ang gagamitin natin dito ay yung point slope form. Okay. So, substitute lang po natin y minus. Ang y sub 1 natin is negative 5. Ito yung x sub 1, y sub 1. Equals to, given ang m natin which is 3 over 4. Copy yung x sub 1 natin ay 4. Okay. So, since meron tayong minus, negative, so magiging plus, positive. Okay, yun lang naman. Magkakaroon ka na ng y plus 5 equals to 3 over 4 x minus 4. Okay, so in this case, lipat natin sa kabilang side yung 5. And then of course, kailangan po natin i-distribute yung 3 over 4. Ayan, dito. Okay, so itong 5, lipat naman sa kabila. So meron kang y equals. So diretso ko na siya, magiging 3 over 4x and then 3 over 4. So negative 4 times 3 over 4. And then lipat sa kabila yung 5, so magiging minus 5. So simplify lang po natin. As you can see, pwede natin i-simplify itong 4. 1 na lang. So magiging negative 3 na lang yan. So meron tayong y equals to 3 over 4, x minus 3 minus 5. Okay? So ngayon, pinaka-final answer natin will be y equals to 3 over 4, x minus 8. So ito na po yung ating slope-intercept form. So ito po yung ating SIF. Okay. So next naman nating hanapin ay standard form. So going back, pag standard form naman ang hanap, using this one, ito na lang din gamitin natin. We have y equals to 3 over 4 x minus 8. So as you can see, ang ginagawa natin dito, okay, ito ay SIF to SF. Diba? So ang gagawin lang natin dyan is to multiply both sides of the equation by 4. Bakit by 4? Para ma-eliminate natin yung denominator na 4. Okay, so multiply lang natin. We have 4y equals to 3 over 4 times 4 and then x minus 8 times 4. Okay, pwede nyo na pong idiretso yan kung sanay na po kayong gumawa ng ganitong solution. Pwede na yung cancel mo agad yung 4 and then multiply mo na yung 8 times 4. Pwede naman po. So pinakita ko lang para alam nyo kung paano ginagawa. So in this case, pwede natin simplify ito. Diba? Cancel na siya. Okay, we have 4y equals to, okay, 3x na lang minus 32. Okay? So, yung goal natin ay standard form. So, since positive ang px dito sa kanan, ang ilipat natin yung y. Okay, para hindi na po tayo mag-multiply both side ng negative. Okay, kasi kapag nilipat mo yung 3x sa kaliwa, di ba magiging negative 3x pa siya. So, since positive na siya, kung saan siyang positive na side, stay mo na siya doon. Okay, so meron na tayong 3x, lipat na lang natin yung 4y, negative 4y. And then yung 32 sa kabila, so positive 32. Okay, tsaka nyo ngayon, balik na rin nyo na lang. Meron kang 3x minus 4y equals to 32. So, hindi na magbabago ng sign yan. Kasi pinagpalit mo sila lang naman ng position. Okay? So, yan na po yung ating standard form. And then, of course, standard form to general, lipat mo lang yung 32 sa left side. So, meron ka ng 3x minus 4y minus 32 equals to 0. Alright? So, ito na po yung ating SF. And ito naman yung ating general form. Okay? So, another example. Determine the equation of the line if x-intercept is 2 and y-intercept is negative 3. So, from the word itself, ang given natin dito ay y-intercept and x-intercept. Okay, so ito yung A, ito yung B. Diba? Yung A is for X and then yung B is for y-intercept. So, ang gamit natin dito ay intercept form. Okay, so substitute lang po natin. So, meron na tayong x over, ang A natin ay 2, plus y over negative 3 equals to 1. Okay? Since ito ay y over negative 3, so magiging x over 2 minus minus y over 3 equals to 1. So, ito po yung ating intercept form. Okay, intercept form. So, kung gagawin naman natin siyang SIF, pwede rin. Standard form, pwede rin. General form, pwede rin. Okay, so gawin muna natin siyang standard form para mas madali. Kasi ito na yun, di ba? Yung x and y mo nandyan na sa isang side and then yung constant nasa kabila na. So, gawin muna natin si standard form. Okay, so copy lang natin yan. So, we have x over 2 minus y over 3 equals to 1. So, ang process na gagawin natin dito, ito yung IF. So, IF to SF. Okay? So, ang gagawin yan ay multiply lang po natin both sides. Okay? Multiply lang natin both sides by the LCD. So, ang LCD nito, 2 and 3, so we have 6. Diba? So, multiply natin both sides by 6. Ayan. So, kumbaga 6 times this one, ito at ito. Okay? So, meron na tayong 6 divided by 2 times x. So, meron kang 3x. And then 6 divided by 3 is 2 times y. We have negative 2y. And equals to 6. So, eto na ang ating SF. Okay? And kung gusto naman natin gawing general form, so lilipat lang natin yung 6 sa left side. So, you have 3x minus 2y minus 6 equals to 0. So, yan na po yung ating general form. Okay? And kung gusto naman natin kuhanin si SIF, pwede rin naman. Kunin natin si SIF. SIF. Y equals to mx plus b. So, as you can see, ang pinakamadali natin kunin dito ay yung na kay SF. Alright, so yan naman ang gamitin natin. So, you have 3x minus 2y. Ayan. Pero diretso na natin siya. Since ang goal natin ay y, nasa left. So, copy na natin si negative 2y equals to, ang m natin ay ito, yung kasama ng x. So, lilipat lang natin yan sa kabilang side. Since nasa left siya, punta natin siya sa right. Magiging negative 3x. And then, ang 6 natin ay nasa right. So, okay na po yan. Copy na lang natin 6. Okay, and then, divide natin both sides. Divide natin sila lahat by negative 2. Okay, so magkakaroon ka ngayon ng y. Cancel na kasi itong, yan. Okay, and then itong 6 and 2, pwede na natin yung masimplify, di ba? Pwede natin siya masimplify as 6 divided by negative 2 means negative 3. Okay, and then negative 3 divided by negative 2, so magiging positive 3 over 2. Then copy yung x. And then 6 divided by negative 2 is negative 3. So, ito naman po yung ating SIF. SIF. Okay. Okay, so let's have another example. So, in this case, find down natin yung slope and y-intercept of the following equation of the line. So, number 1, okay, we have, ayan. So, ang hanap po natin dito ay slope and y-intercept. So, yung m tsaka yung b natin. So, remember, dapat ang equation natin ay naka-slope-intercept form para mas madali nating mahanap yung slope tsaka yung y-intercept. So, dito sa number 1, makikita naman natin naka-slope-intercept form na tayo. Kasi ito na yung pattern natin. Bayan na yung y equals to mx plus b. Okay? So, therefore, ito na po yung m and then ito yung ating y-intercept. So, ito, ang answer natin for number 1, we have m is equals to 3 over 4 and then ang y-intercept natin ay negative 7. Okay, so ito na po yung answer. Okay, next naman, number 2. Ayan. So, ito ay naka-general form. So, naka-general form, change muna natin to. General form to SIF. Okay? So, ang format natin, kung naalala natin, we have y. Kay y equals to mx plus b. So, yung negative 2y natin ay nasa left. So, ito na yon, copy lang natin. And then, yung x lipat sa kabila, so magiging negative x. And then, yung 5 lipat sa kabila, so meron kang negative 5. Okay, and then, since ang kailangan natin ay y lang, so divide natin lahat by negative 2. Okay, so magkakaroon ka ngayon, so cancel na to. Magkakaroon na tayo dito ng y, okay, equals to negative and negative, divide natin, di ba magiging positive. So, Remember, yung x natin, ang simpleng x ay may numerical coefficient na 1. So, tandaan nyo po palagi kapag x ang nakikita nyo, meron po yung exponent na 1, numerical coefficient na 1, at may denominator na 1. So therefore here, meron po yung 1. Okay? Yan, meron yung 1 dito. So negative 1 divided by negative 2, so magiging positive 1 over 2. And then x. And then negative 5 divided by negative 2, hindi natin pwedeng ma-divide, pero pwede siyang maging positive na kasi negative divided by negative ay magiging positive. Then copy 5 over 2. So ito na po yung SIF natin. So therefore, makuha na natin yung ating slope. Slope natin ay 1/2. And then ang ating y-intercept ay 5 over 2. Okay. Ayan. Okay, next example. Okay, number 3, we have 3x plus 3 over 2y equals to 5. So, nagawin muna natin siyang SIF form. So, para maging SIF form yan, since may fraction, okay, may fraction po, okay lang naman, may fraction, gawin lang natin siyang slope-intercept form. So, ang format po natin tatandaan, we have y equals to mx plus b. So, ang y natin, nandito na sa left, so stay na natin si 3 over 2 here. And then equals, lipat natin si tx sa kabila, so magiging negative 3x. Since ang 5 ay nandyan lang naman sa right side, so plus 5. Okay? And then since ang ating y ay may 3 over 2 na numerical coefficient, we have to multiply both sides by 2 over 3. Okay, bakit 2 over 3? Para po makancel natin itong 2 at yung 3. Parang matitira na lang ay si y. So meron tayong y equals to, so mumultiply nyo naman po ito, tsaka ito. So meron kang negative 3. Okay, pwede naman diretso nyo na. Pero sige, gawin na lang natin siyang 2 over 3 times 3x. Isa-isay natin. And then we have 2 over 3 times 5. Okay? So in this case, pwede nating makancel itong 3. Okay? Kasi may over 1 po yan, di ba? So 3. So matitira na lang dyan ay y equals to 2x. And then plus, since nato wala tayong masisimplify, so multiply na lang natin siya. So we have 2 times 5, we have 10. 3 times 1, we have 3. So ito na po yung SIF form niya. So therefore, meron tayo ditong slope na 2. And then y-intercept na b. So ang slope natin ay 2. And ang y-intercept natin ay 10 over 3. Okay? So next example, number 4, we have 4y plus 2 equals to 3 quantity x minus 1. So in this case, change muna natin siya ulit in SIF form. So tingnan nyo, examine nyo yung equation kung ano pwede nating gawin dyang solution. So in this case, since ito yung 2y, nasa left, okay na yan. And then may naka-parentheses, so you have to multiply or distribute yung 3 sa x minus 1. So stay natin yung 2y dito sa left side, so we have 2y equals. Then multiply na natin yung 3x and then minus 3. And then lipat sa kabila yung 2, so minus 2. Okay? So yan, simplify lang natin. So we have 2y equals to 3x minus 5. Okay? And then, divide natin lahat by 2. Bakit by 2? Kasi siya po yung numerical coefficient ng ating y. Okay? So, ayan. And then y equals to 3 over 2 x minus 5 over 2. So, ito na po yung ating slope-intercept form. So, therefore, ito po yung ating slope. Ito naman yung y-intercept. Kasama po yung negative. So, therefore, ang slope ay 3 over 2. And ang b natin, y-intercept, ay negative 5 over 2. M and b. By the way, yung mga y-intercept natin, di ba? It also can be written in the form of 0, negative 5 over 2. Ito naman, pwedeng 0, 10 over 3. Ganun din dun sa first 2. Pwede rin natin siya isulat in that form. Okay, so thank you everyone for listening and I hope you learned something from our discussion. Thank you and God bless.